Welcome to the Lemoore Joint City Council meeting. Joint Lemoore City Council, Lemoore Redevelopment Successor Agency meeting. This is at the City Council Chambers, 429 C Street, December 1, 2020. Some members are teleconferencing. Please silence all electronic devices as a courtesy to those in attendance. Thank you. Call to order. Invocation. Please stand and remain standing for the Pledge of Allegiance. Let us pray. Lord, with the increased risk of the coronavirus recently, we thank you for your protection of our health. Please continue to watch over our city, especially our first responders. In your name we pray. Amen.
Amen.
Pledge of Allegiance.
To the flag
Of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God,
indivisible,
with
liberty and justice
liberty
for all.
for all. Thank you. Please be seated. Roll call.
Councilmember Lyons,
Here.
Councilmember Scaldi,
present.
Mayor Pro Tem Plord,
Here.
Mayor Neal. Absent. All right, thank you.
Absent. We have a quorum. Thank you very much. E, agenda approval, additions and or deletions for the city attorney.
I have none.
Okay. Public comment. Public will be in accordance with the attached policy, and these will be 3 minutes on items that are not on the agenda. Do we have any public comment from the city clerk?
We have not received any public comment.
Okay, pressing on. Section 1, ceremonial presentations. We have no ceremonial presentations. Department and city manager report, section 2.
So good evening, Mayor Pro Tem and council members. Just real quick, we started our financial audit for last year today. So we're underway and we'll be working through that. So we'll be closing the books on the previous year shortly, and we'll be ready for mid-year budget adjustments if needed in January is the hope. And then next up will be the city attorney giving us a brief update on some recent COVID laws. Mary?
Yeah, so good evening, council. I wanted to just update you regarding AB 685. That was the assembly bill that was going to expand Cal OSHA's enforcement powers and enact stricter health and safety rules relating to COVID-19. That assembly bill was set to take effect January 1st, 2021. So about 4 weeks from now. In the meantime, however, the Cal OSHA board adopted emergency regulations regarding COVID-19, essentially mirroring AB 685, making it effective last night. And so in anticipation of that becoming effective, the city's taken certain actions as far as working remotely. And then tonight, most of council is attending this meeting remotely. These emergency regulations, they have certain requirements on the city. The city needs to come up with what's called a COVID-19 prevention program. And I know your risk manager is assisting with that. It's burdensome, it's time consuming. There's 11 subjects that have to be covered in this COVID-19 prevention program. In addition to that, however, Cal OSHA now has authority to come in and shut a business down, including the city, if there are a significant number of COVID cases, or for instance, this plan is not being followed. And then there's also some additional burdens on the employer. If there are COVID cases within the city is now responsible for paying for COVID tests for those exposed in the workplace. And so really, it's really becoming burdensome on your staff as far as what was originally the responsibility of maybe the department or the health departments for the county or the state. It's a lot of these functions and monitoring are now being delegated to the actual businesses, and for the city, I believe that's going to be Michelle's responsibility. So just wanted to give you an update as to what's going on and maybe why like this meeting is primarily remote and why you're going to see more employees go remote. And I'm available for any questions.
Okay. Thank you, Mary.
Any other department reports?
No, that completes department reports.
Okay, consent calendar, section 3, items considered routine in nature are placed on the consent calendar. They will be voted on in one vote as one item unless the council member or member of the public requests individual consideration. Is there a council member that wishes anything polled?
No.
No.
And so any member of the public request anything polled?
No.
I guess I should have read first, but 3-1, approval minutes, regular meeting, November 17, 2020. 3-2, approval. Second reading, ordinance 2020-09, resolving the Downtown Merchants Advisory Committee by amending section 3-2-5 of the Lemoore Municipal Code. 3-3, approval. Real property lease purchase option agreement of the city, successor agency property to People's Property, LLC. The lease agreement is available to the public as a handout on the website if anyone cares to read that. Does anybody wish to make a motion?
I motion to accept consent calendar.
Scaldi will second that motion.
Okay, motion by Councilmember Lyons, a second by Councilmember Scaldi. Any discussion on the motion?
No.
Hearing none. Councilmember Lyons.
Yes. Aye.
In case you couldn't hear, that was Councilmember Lyons with an I.
Okay. Councilmember Scaldi.
Aye.
And I vote aye. The consent calendar is approved. Moving on to public hearings, section 4, we have no public hearings. New business, section 5, we have no new business listed. Brief city council reports and requests, section 6-1, city council reports and requests, council member Lyons.
Yeah. So,
report?
okay. So I'll keep it brief. First of all, I'd like to thank all first responders, police and fire. I'd like to thank all the city staff. And I want to give a shout out to our fire department for putting up the tree this year. It looks great. And this Saturday will be the Christmas parade. And I want to thank Sheila Taylor for making something versus nothing. And I know that a lot of people thought that by putting it on the agenda and talking about it, they weren't exactly happy with council for doing that. But it was only because we wanted to speak about it. There was no ill will there. So the fact that we're having something, especially in a time like this, and the COVID situation has gotten bad for everybody, just want to tell Sheila she's doing a good job too. And aside from that, I'm not going to be able to make it to the parade this year. It's going to be the first time I miss it, and I can't remember how long. Can't get out of work this year. So that's all I have.
Okay, thank you. Councilmember Scaldi.
I too would like to thank Sheila Taylor for all the work that she's put in. Hopefully the community comes out and really supports this parade and makes it something to be memorable about, besides just being a reverse parade. I'm sure it's going to be a great event. There's a beautiful tree. Thank the fire department for going up and getting that tree and bringing it back down safely. Thanks everybody for watching out for people. That's a good thing about small communities, and I thank people for that. And if I'm correct, I think next week is when the new council's seated. So I would like to wish them a good time, and to hopefully continue the momentum that's there now, and being a positive thing. So thank everybody, and stay safe.
All right, thank you very much. My report deals with saying goodbye to the city as far as, being appointed. I enjoyed this last, since August of last year, being on the council, and I want to thank all of the employees of the city for hanging in there and doing a good job. A lot of people don't appreciate all the work that they do. The people that drive trucks around all over town and see a city logo on them, that means they're doing something for the citizens of Lemoore. So those people that are out there that you can see, they sometimes are recognized, but also we have those people that are in the offices, and they're doing support work to keep the city running strong. All right. I want to thank all the department heads that are running all the different departments, and because they have to deal with this virus too, it's impacting everybody. For the city attorney, can't thank you enough for helping and giving me the eye when I needed it, and it's always nice to get guided in the right direction when you're making a mistake. Michelle Spear, the assistant city manager, she puts her heart and soul into the job as you would expect, and every city employee, if they worked as hard as she did, then we have a great staff. For the city manager, well, it's something different. I came on the council in 2003. I stayed till 2004. In 2004, I went to the planning commission. They called me back in 2005, went back on the city council. Came up in 2006, ran for office in 2008, received the votes necessary. So in 2010, I was in there for 2 years as a council member, and I was appointed to, or elected to be mayor pro tem, and I served until 2012, and then I was off for X number of years, and I missed the opportunity to serve with some dynamic city managers. During that absence, I didn't have the opportunity, but I did have the opportunity to serve with under Steve Kroberg as the city manager, and Jeff Phillips as the city manager. Don Haggard was the interim city manager, and now Nathan Olson is he's one of the I would say the most productive city manager that I've worked with as far as promoting the city and getting things done. I mean, that's where the rubber hits the road. We are going to be impacted by this virus. He's impacted every day by the daily day-to-day operations of the city, and now he has to cope with this. And we have restricted cash flow because of the sales tax revenue that we're not getting, and that impacts everybody. So from the bottom of my heart, I'd like to thank Nathan Olson for the job he's doing. and let you know that I really appreciate it. And that's all I have. Thank you. Our next meeting will be on December 15th in 2 weeks, in which we will have the swearing in of the new council members. So with that, we are adjourned at 7:45.